AI is evolving at lightning speed. Every week, it feels like there's a brand new buzzword. And if you don't know what they mean, it's easy to feel left out of the conversation. That's why in this video, I'm breaking down 15 of the most important AI terms you need to know in 2025. No jargon, no overcomplicated explanations. Just clear, simple analogies that actually make sense. By the end, you won't just understand these terms, you'll feel confident dropping them in conversations, meetings, or even on LinkedIn. Let's dive in. LLM, Large Language Model. A large language model, or LLM, is basically a supercharged version of the autocomplete on your phone. When you type and your keyboard suggests the next word, that's autocomplete. Now imagine the same idea, but trained on billions of books, articles, and websites. Instead of just one word, an LLM can write full paragraphs, essays, stories, or even computer code. The easiest way to picture it is talking to a really well-read friend who has studied almost everything written online. You ask a question, and they don't just repeat facts, they put sentences together in a way that feels natural and human. Today, most of the AI tools that you have heard of are powered by LLMs. Companies like OpenAI, ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, and Anthropic, Claude, all build their products on top of these models. Token. A token is like a small puzzle piece of language. Instead of reading text word by word, AI breaks everything down into smaller parts called tokens. Sometimes a word is one token, like fantastic. Other times, a word is split into multiple tokens, like unbelievable, which might become unbelievable. The AI doesn't actually see whole sentences, it only sees these tokens. Think of it like Lego blocks. One Lego might represent a short word, while a bigger structure comes from snapping many blocks together. The AI learns patterns from billions of these blocks, then uses them to build more meaningful answers. When people talk about how many tokens a model can handle, they're really talking about the AI's memory. Bigger models like those from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google can process more tokens, meaning longer conversations or bigger documents. Prompt engineering. If AI is like a genie, then prompt engineering is the art of making your wish clear. A sloppy prompt gets you sloppy results. A clear and specific prompt often gives you exactly what you need. For example, asking, "Write about climate change" might give you something generic. But asking, "Explain climate change" to a 10-year-old using a story about animals will give you a much sharper answer. In 2025, prompt engineering is less about secret hacks and more about asking questions like a scientist, breaking problems into steps, giving context, and telling the AI exactly what role it should play. Companies like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic all encourage structured prompting because it leads to better results. The better you are at prompting, the more powerful these AI tools become, no matter which one you use. Agents. Most AI tools today answer questions, but agents go one step further. They take actions on your behalf. Think of a regular AI like a smart advisor. You ask it something, it gives you an answer, and that's the end. An AI agent, on the other hand, is like a personal assistant who doesn't just advise you but also makes the calls, books the tickets, or runs the errands. For example, instead of just suggesting, "Here are 5 hotels in Paris," an AI agent could actually compare prices, make the booking, and send the confirmation email. In 2025, companies like OpenAI with GPTs, Google, and Meta are investing heavily in AI agents. They represent the next level of AI, moving from passive chatbots to active problem solvers that can plan, execute, and get things done. RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Think of a normal AI like a student who studied a huge library but can't look at new books after the exam. It only relies on what it memorized during training. That's where RAG, or Retrieval-Augmented Generation, changes the game. RAG is like giving AI a live search engine while it's answering your question. Instead of only depending on old training data, it can retrieve fresh information, articles, databases, or documents, and then blend them into its response. For example, if you ask about today's stock prices or a newly published research paper, a regular AI might guess, but a RAG-enabled AI can pull up real data and give you an accurate, up-to-date answer. In 2025, tools from OpenAI, Microsoft, and Cohere are using RAG to make AI far more reliable and current. Fine-tuning. Fine-tuning is like taking a really smart student and giving them professional training. The student already understands general subjects, but if you want them to become a doctor, lawyer, or customer service expert, you'd give them focused lessons. That's what fine-tuning does for AI. A general AI model knows a little about almost everything, but fine-tuning feeds it specialized examples so it performs much better in a chosen field. For instance, a hospital could fine-tune a model with medical guidelines so it provides accurate summaries for doctors. A business might fine-tune one with its support scripts so the AI answers customers in the right tone and style. Instead of starting from scratch, fine-tuning builds on the AI's foundation, sharpening it into a domain expert that's reliable, efficient, and tailored for specific needs. Parameter. Parameters are like tiny knobs inside the brain of an AI model. Imagine a giant sound mixing board with billions of dials. Each dial adjusts how the model interprets language, deciding which words connect, which ideas matter more, and how context should shape the answer. The more parameters an AI has, the more fine-grained those adjustments can be. A small model with fewer parameters might give you rough, surface-level answers, while a large model with hundreds of billions of parameters can pick up on subtle meanings, tones, and relationships in language. You can think of it like photography. An older camera with fewer pixels captures the general picture, but a high-resolution camera with more pixels captures sharp detail. Parameters work the same way. More of them usually means deeper understanding and more natural responses. Hey, quick pause. If you're finding this breakdown helpful so far, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps push this video out to more people who want to stay on top of AI. And if you're new here, consider subscribing because I've got a lot more content coming. Deep dives, simple explainers, and practical guides that'll keep you ahead of the curve. This video is just one piece of a much bigger series I'm building, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Alright, let's get back to the video. Inference. Inference is simply the stage where you use an AI model. Training is like the years a student spends studying, reading textbooks, solving practice problems, and learning patterns. Inference is the test day, when the student applies that knowledge to give answers. When you type a question into ChatGPT or ask an AI to summarize an article, you're running inference. The model isn't learning in that moment. It's applying everything it already learned during training to predict the best possible response. You can think of training as loading the brain and inference as pressing the play button on that brain to produce output. Every chatbot reply, every AI-generated image, every piece of code from an assistant, that's inference in action. It's the point where all the behind-the-scenes training finally becomes useful to you. Hallucination. An AI hallucination happens when the model confidently gives you an answer that sounds right, but is completely made up. It's like that friend who tells stories with so much confidence that you believe them, only to find out later that none of it was true. For example, you might ask an AI about a historical event, and it invents a fake quote. Or you request a research source, and it provides a citation that looks real, but doesn't exist. The AI isn't lying on purpose. It's predicting text patterns, and sometimes it fills in the blanks with fiction instead of fact. This is why critical thinking matters when using AI. Hallucinations remind us that these systems don't actually know truth. They generate plausible answers, and it's up to us to double-check the details. Multimodal. Multimodal AI is the next big leap. It can understand and work with more than just text. Think of it like a student who doesn't only read and write, but can also see, listen, and even describe what they experience. For example, you could upload a photo of your fridge and ask, "What can I cook with these ingredients?" The AI can see the image, connect it with recipes, and give you a useful answer. Or you might combine text with audio, like uploading a podcast and asking for a written summary. This ability to cross between text, images, audio, and even video makes AI far more powerful and natural to interact with. Instead of being stuck in one mode, multimodal AI feels closer to how humans process the world, using multiple senses at once. AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence, is often called the holy grail of AI. Unlike today's systems, which are good at specific tasks like writing text, generating images, and analyzing data, AGI would be able to learn, reason, and adapt across any domain, much like a human brain. Imagine the difference between a calculator and a person. A calculator is fast at math, but useless outside numbers. A person, on the other hand, can learn math, then switch to cooking, playing chess, or writing poetry. That flexibility is what AGI promises. We are not there yet. Current AI is powerful, but still narrow. Still, in 2025, every serious conversation about the future of technology eventually touches on AGI. Because if it arrives, it could be the most transformative invention in human history. Alignment. Alignment is about making sure AI systems act in ways that match human goals and values. It's not enough for AI to just be smart. It also needs to be safe, trustworthy, and useful. Think of it like raising a child. You don't only want them to get good grades, you want them to grow up with empathy, responsibility, and respect for others. Without alignment, powerful AI could give technically correct answers that are harmful, biased, or completely miss the point of what we really want. Alignment research focuses on guiding AI behavior, teaching it boundaries, ethics, and context so it doesn't cause harm while solving problems. In short, alignment is about making AI not just capable, but aligned with human needs, ensuring intelligence is paired with responsibility. Guardrails. Guardrails are the built-in safety rules that keep AI systems from going off track. They act as boundaries, making sure that AI doesn't generate harmful, illegal, or dangerous content. Think of them like bumper lanes in bowling. Without them, the ball might roll off into the gutter. With guardrails, the ball stays on the lane and has a much better chance of hitting the pins. For example, if you ask an AI to give instructions for something harmful, the guardrails should block that request. Or if a chatbot detects hate speech, the guardrails push it back to safer ground. These protections are not perfect. Sometimes they block too much, sometimes too little, but they are essential. Guardrails make AI more reliable and safe to use, giving people confidence that powerful tools won't be easily misused. Federated learning. Federated learning is a way to train AI across multiple devices without pulling all the data into one central server. Think of it like a classroom where every student studies privately at home, then only shares their test scores with the teacher. The teacher learns from the results without ever seeing each student's personal notes. This approach protects privacy because sensitive data, like your health records, text messages, or photos, never leave your device. Instead, the AI learns patterns locally and only sends back the lessons, not the actual data. A good example is your phone's keyboard. It improves suggestions based on how you type, but your personal conversations aren't uploaded to the cloud. Federated learning balances two big needs in 2025: smarter AI systems and stronger protection of individual privacy. Latency. Latency is simply the time it takes for AI to respond after you give it a prompt. You've probably felt this when using Siri, Alexa, or even ChatGPT. Sometimes the answer pops up instantly, and other times it feels like you're waiting forever. That delay is high latency. Low latency means the AI replies quickly, making the experience feel smooth and natural, almost like a real conversation. High latency, on the other hand, breaks the flow and can be frustrating. Latency matters a lot in 2025 because AI is being used in real-time situations, from voice assistants to customer support chats and even self-driving cars. In those cases, every second counts. The lower the latency, the more useful and seamless the AI feels, and the more likely people are to actually trust and enjoy using it. Final thoughts. And that's it. 15 AI terms you absolutely need to know in 2025. Think of this video as your personal cheat sheet. The next time someone drops words like RAG, multimodal, or alignment in a meeting or online, you won't just nod along. You'll actually understand what they mean and join the conversation with confidence. Here's the bigger point. AI isn't only about the tools we use, it's about the language we use to describe them. Once you speak that language, the world of AI stops feeling overwhelming and starts feeling like an opportunity. If you found this breakdown helpful, then check out the other videos on my channel. I've got plenty more guides coming your way. And if there's a specific AI topic you want me to cover next, let me know in the comments.